Hello, hello. It is Askkrystalracquel and I'm back again with another video. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everyone. I think it's so important for us to remember the reason for this season, and it's just to, of course, be grateful for your family. And of course, remember that Jesus died on the cross for us and we're nothing without him. So today's video, I'm actually going to be making rice pudding or arroz con leche. And right now I actually have the rice cooking in the pan to my left, or in the saucepan, with lemon rind as well as cinnamon. So the recipe does call for cinnamon sticks. You can find cinnamon sticks at a market or a Hispanic grocery store or Caribbean store, but I was not able to get cinnamon sticks. So for now, I have used ground cinnamon. So what I have in the pot is ground cinnamon. I put a bunch in there. I put nutmeg. You can put nutmeg if you wish. And water. So I put a cup of long grain white rice and 2 cups of water, which you see the empty water bottle here. I like to use water like spring water, purified water when I'm making a dish like this. In your regular water bottles, it's usually 16 ounces or 16.9 ounces. So I use a full bottle. I put about a cup of rice, maybe a little bit more. Here is a 1/4 measuring cup. And so what else do I have here? I have a lemon. I'll use the rest to make lemonade. So I needed the lemon rind. You probably only needed half of the rind, but you want to peel all the way around the lemon. I did it twice. You actually want to get the white stuff. So that's why I peeled again, to get a lot of the white off. I use this to peel the lemon. And I also use this to peel my lemon. I'm going to put it off to the side since I won't be needing that again. I won't be needing this measuring cup again. So I have a couple more minutes on the rice. I'm going to check on it in a little bit. But I'll also, once that is cooked to perfection, or what I like, I'm going to add in the vanilla and about a pinch of salt, as well as the evaporated milk. You should use a full can of evaporated milk, but I have about half. I used the other half when I was making baked mac and cheese for my husband and I. I also have my sweetened condensed milk. The thing with rice pudding or arroz con leche is you can actually end up boiling your rice in milk as well as sugar. That's the timer. That's the beep that you hear. But I'm doing it more of the easy way of boiling the rice in water, or cooking the rice in water, and then I'm going to be adding my evaporated milk as well as my sweetened condensed milk. You should use the whole can, and I might need a whole can of this. I have another can off to the side in case I need more. So yeah, hopefully this works out wonderfully. Then I also have a little drink in the back here and some water as I cook. So I'm gonna take a look at the rice now, see how it's doing. I have my mixing spoon here, or my stirrer. Okay, it's looking great. So what I ended up doing when I was, okay, so the difference with the rice, if you're going to put cinnamon in it instead of, if you're going to use cinnamon instead of cinnamon sticks, your rice is going to come out a lot browner. I put it on for 10 minutes. What I did is I put the rice on medium heat, and then I waited for it to boil. Once it boiled, I let it kind of cook on low for 10 minutes. So I'm going to actually add 2 more minutes. So for me, it's going to be 12 minutes. I just think, I'll show you. I think it requires a little bit more, okay? So it's brown, not because it's burnt or anything. It's brown because I added cinnamon. And I love cinnamon, and I also added nutmeg. That's your choice if you want to add nutmeg or not. So yes, we'll give it a couple more minutes. What I'm going to be doing next is stirring in the evaporated milk and the condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk. I also have my 2 plates. This is going to be for my husband and I to enjoy on Christmas. We've definitely been eating so much. Yesterday was New Year's Eve or Noche Buena. Today is Christmas. So, you know, we enjoyed food and spending time with people that we love. All right, so the next step, so the timer just went, I have a minute left. The next step is going to be to stir in the evaporated milk and sweetened condensed milk. I'll be stirring that in, and I'll be also adding in the vanilla as well as a pinch of salt. Okay. Oh, so I mentioned that I put in, what did I say? I said I put the rice, which was a cup of rice, a long grain white rice, and a lot of cinnamon, some nutmeg. I also mentioned that I put in a lemon rind. So that boiled. Once that boiled, I put it on low for 12 minutes. Okay, so that was the timer. So of course what we have to do is take out that lemon rind. As you saw, I had a lot of utensils here. So the amount of, I have like an example on the counter with my ingredients. The amount of lemon rind that you want to use is about this much. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to put them in the trash. I actually put double that in there. So there's 2 pieces of lemon rind. And you don't just want the peel. The peel would just be the yellow part. You want to make sure you had the white part in there. And this dish is not going to taste anything like lemon. It just gives it a nice flavor. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pour in this half can of evaporated milk. As I said, I think I'm going to need more than that. And you want to make sure that your pot is on low. Mind you, once again, mine looks very white. Very brown. Nothing has burned. It's because I put so much cinnamon in and I did not use cinnamon sticks. Now I'm going to pour in the sweetened condensed milk. I've poured in maybe 2/3 or a half so far, half of a can. That's looking delicious, isn't it? I feel like I need some more evaporated milk, but I'm debating if I want to open another can for that. And you know, just looking at this, the way I'm making it, you do not have to add all the sweetened condensed milk if you don't want to. I left a little bit in here. The thing with me, I like to cook and measure with my eye. And just to make sure that the consistency is right and that everything has the right flavor, I'm going to go ahead and open the other can of evaporated milk and put the other half in. So just keep it consistent. Since I use most of the can of sweetened condensed milk, so that should match my can, right? So if I put a can of sweetened condensed milk or almost, I should make sure I almost have a full can of evaporated milk. And I don't want the mixture to be too much for the pot that I have. So I'm gonna, just make sure I don't put too much. You're gonna want to let that simmer. So everything's stirred in. You're gonna want it to simmer. So I'm gonna put my stove goes up from minimum to max and 1 to 8. So I'm gonna put it on 4. My husband's being so sweet. He was watching Fast and Furious. As soon as he heard me talking, he turned the subtitles on and put the volume off. And I have more than iodine salt. I would always recommend you use sea salt or Himalayan salt. I'm going to just put a dash, pinch, whatever that means to you. So let me see. Nothing has come out yet, okay? Oops. Okay, that's too much, so I'm going to throw that out. You know, gotta watch our blood pressure. I'm putting that much salt. I don't have any blood pressure issues, but just saying in general, like, I try to make recipes as healthy as I can. So you're gonna mix that in, and that is gonna cook down. I'm gonna leave the pot open. That should continue to cook down for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna have to constantly stir this though, because you do not want anything to burn. So I just put my timer on another 10 minutes. And we'll see what it's looking like. I'm looking at this like, did I put too much liquid? But we'll see. Okay. And me being the person that I am, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to taste the mixture. As you saw, I had a lot of utensils laying here. Let me just taste it. Perfect. Just the right amount of vanilla. I really want to start simmering again. I don't want to boil over, you know, but okay. We'll continue to monitor. Anyway, so I hope you all have been having an amazing Christmas. And that all of your wishes are coming true. You know, I know I'm not on here as often, but I just wanted to check in with you and I figure, hey, I'm making this dessert. Why not bring you all in for the ride? And if you try it, definitely put your comment down below. I think the only thing that I've done differently is I've used ground cinnamon. Instead of cinnamon sticks, I added nutmeg as well. But keep in mind, something like this, you could even throw in fruit. You can put cherries, raisins, what else? Figs. Once you have it in a bowl served, you can even add nuts or something like that. I'm really big on not being so tied to a recipe just because I feel like whenever you cook something, you don't want to have to pull out a recipe, right? So it's easier if you're just like, okay, I need a can of sweetened condensed milk and a can of evaporated milk. All right, I already know how to cook rice. So a cup of rice to 2 cups of water. You know, maybe the recipe might say it's a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, but you decide, okay, I'm just gonna put a dash or however much my heart desires. Lemon rind. You try it one way. The next time you add in more of the lemon or less, depending on how it tastes. Once again, you can't really even taste it. And then lemon, I might even say like a 1/2 tablespoon or a teaspoon. I love vanilla, so I just put as much as I want in there for the flavor. And at the end, when you plate it, you're gonna want to top it with some cinnamon just for something like a nice look to it. So we're almost there. I'm trying to think what else. So, you know, for the new year, I really want to keep in mind any topics or videos that you have for me. So if you have any questions or concerns about things happening in your life, definitely let me know. Feel free to send it into the email that I have listed. I was just taking a sip of my, it's actually sparkling cider mixed with ginger ale. But definitely keep me in mind if you have any questions. I'd love to help and come on video and talk with you about anything that's coming to mind related to your family, friends, any interesting topics or things you'd like me to discuss. So yes, I hope that this video is going to be helpful to you. There's not much movement going on with the arroz con leche. But this is definitely a dish, like even if you put too much liquid, you don't have to scoop all the liquid into your plate. I know you should see what I'm doing, but all I'm doing is just stirring it. So like I said, you just want to constantly stir it. And I have 6 more minutes remaining. It's actually very delicious. Next time, I might try cooking it in milk and sugar. What really drew me to the sweetened condensed milk, although I know sweetened condensed milk also is made with sugar, it's milk and sugar. Something about using this white sugar just throws me off, because that's not something I was raised doing, to use white sugar a lot. So one, I didn't have milk on hand with all the, holiday grocery shopping. I didn't have any milk left. So I figure I have evaporated milk. Why not use that? And I always have sweetened condensed milk on hand. So I decided to go with that recipe and that style of making the recipe. So we have 5 minutes left. I've been having the stove on about 5 or 4.5. So I'm going to push it up to 6. Maybe that'll help it cook more. And I know when I made the candied yams, I did not show you as I was cooking because it would take so long. This is a recipe that's not super long, so that's why I can stay on here and I'll show you when I plate it and what it looks like. I'm sorry, I was just staring at the pot. But if there's anything else you'd like to see me make, or if you have any questions about anything, let me know. I would be happy to come on video and talk about any particular topics. I know the last video that I made was about identifying some toxic male podcasts. So if there's any type of video you'd like me to make with a PowerPoint style, I can do one of those as well. What made me do that video was the fact that sometimes when I get topic ideas, it'll come to me and I'll type it up in my notes of my phone. But with that, it just, a lot of different things kept coming surrounding that particular topic about things I was seeing online. So it was just too many points to put in one video, or like to try to talk on camera in one video. So that's why I put it all together in a PowerPoint form. We're down to 4 minutes. Let me stir. Oh yeah, it's definitely thickening up. The thing, my husband, I was actually thinking of halving the recipe. My husband is not a sweet eater. I'm not really into sweets either, but I was gonna half it. So if you want to, you can always half the recipe. We're down to 3 minutes. I'm gonna throw the other can of evaporated milk. I'm going to, that's what I do. If I feel like I'm gonna use something that's in a can quickly, I just put some foil paper over it and then put it back in the fridge. So since I made the mac and cheese yesterday, that's why I put the foil paper over the evaporated milk, because I knew I was gonna use it when I made the rice pudding or arroz con leche. Let me just taste it to make sure that I have enough flavor in there. It's perfect. The flavor is perfect. Just because I love vanilla, I'm gonna add more vanilla. And I'm going to continue to let it cook. You know, vanilla extract is not cheap, so you don't have to use too much vanilla, right? So hold on to that vanilla extract if you can. All right, so I got a minute left. You want to cook it you want to make sure that the rice is fluffy. That's actually why I continued to cook the rice up to 12 minutes instead of 10, because I felt like it wasn't fluffy enough. It wasn't over. Your rice definitely shouldn't be dry, but you want it to be kind of overcooked. So, you know when you, not overcooked, you know when you add too much water to your rice a little bit, so it's getting soft and fluffy? That's what you want it to look like. And at 10 minutes, it did not look like that, so I bumped it up to 12. And that's the same with this. When I tasted it, it tastes really delicious, but I just want those rice grains to get a little bit spongier, the kind that not melts in your mouth, but I don't want it to be tough to eat. So the timer's gonna go off in a couple seconds. And with all the extra ingredients, that was another 10 minutes. So I'm also gonna bump this up to 2 more minutes as I continue to stir. Because there's milk in here, you do not want anything to burn. You don't want any, what's the word, when the milk starts getting that layer on top. And as I said before, every time you cook, you want to make sure you wipe down all of your surfaces. And I always like to use a wooden spoon in my non-stick pans, saucepans, pots. But yes, if you think of any other topics, let me know. I want to make sure I'm available to you all. That was the timer, meaning that there's 1 more minute remaining. Oops, I spilled a little. Burn, so 30 seconds left. I'm turning it down. It's getting too much bubbling going on. And when you stir, make sure you're getting the bottom of the saucepan too. That just looks wonderful. Looks amazing. So, and then when you're done with this, you want to serve it nice and hot. So I'm gonna move this stuff out the way. So that's the timer. I'm done. Turn off the pot. You probably want to move it off of the pot because, as you know, it'll still cook. All right, and then I'm gonna grab some spoons for me and hubby. And yeah, I like to keep stuff clean, so I'm just putting stuff away as I'm prepping. Okay. Then I'm gonna top it and garnish it with a little more cinnamon. And a little bit of nutmeg. Making a little bowl for myself. And I'll do the same for mine. So there you have it. Enjoy. You want to serve it hot, remember. All right, love you all. Have a wonderful Christmas. Happy New Year.